Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. If you have not met me yet, my name is Heather. One of my children asked for banana pudding for breakfast, and it's been a really long time since I put a custard type pudding together because I haven't had a lot of goat's milk at my disposal until recently. So I thought it would be a great time to show you how I make just a general pudding. All banana pudding really is vanilla pudding with bananas added into it. I know, I was pretty shocked when I discovered that as well, but it's okay. We'll get through it. I've used a couple different recipes in the past to make a custard pudding. A lot of them have you heat up the milk and sugar and other like liquid ingredients on the stove and then temper your eggs with some of that hot liquid. This particular recipe that I just printed out has you put everything in the pot and just cook it. And so that saves on dishes, and so we'll see how this comes out together. And don't worry, I don't post videos if the thing didn't work out super well. And if I do, you would have known in the title that this was a fail, so I doubt it's a fail though. We do have a larger family, so I am going to double the recipe. I will put the single recipe down in the description box. I'm gonna start with 1 1/3 cups of sugar, half a cup cornstarch, half teaspoon salt, and the recipe calls for 4 large egg yolks. And I've got eggs here because we do light our chickens over the winter time. And I know there's a million and one different ways to separate the yolks from the whites. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I think like that. I tend to use this method where you shuffle the yolk back and forth in between the two halves of the eggshell. So there's one. Put these in the fridge for later. I have a child that really does prefer egg whites versus the whole egg. Look at how gorgeous and orange those egg yolks are even in winter. The recipe calls for 1 1/2 cups of milk and 1/2 cup of cream. I'm going to guess this does help with the creaminess, but understand that a lot of store-bought milks are skimmed in order to be put on the shelf as a consistent product. So whole milk from the grocery store is generally a 4% fat. That whole milk likely has been skimmed down to be that consistent 4%, and adding in the cream is going to help bring that back to a more rich product. And a lot of times your farm fresh milks and things, they're already rich and don't need enriching in that way. So I'm just gonna double this and put in 4 cups of milk. Of course, it's goat's milk from our Margie and Stormy and Christine. This is what we've got going on right now. The recipe did say to mix it in a separate bowl and then put it on the stove. I just decided to save dishes, as I mentioned before, and do everything on the stove. We're gonna mix everything up well so that we don't wind up with scrambled eggs in our custard. And turn this burner to a medium low. I know a lot of you probably use the front burner on your stove. This one only has 1 speed, just high. So I do have to scoot it back a little. I know I've been talking about my 1-speed burner for many years. I've been cooking perfectly fine on this burner for a long time. It's not that we can't fix it. I just don't know what I would do with myself if we did fix it. We've gotten very used to cooking the perfect egg on this burner. So we're gonna leave it, it's fine. I'm actually gonna use my immersion blender. This is one of my most favorite kitchen gadgets. I can get a nice smooth consistency out of what I am cooking. Alrighty, now it does say to cook the custard on medium-low for 10 to 12 minutes until thickened. So I was using my whisk. I'm actually going to switch to a rubber spatula. At this point, I find that it's better for making sure I scrape everything off the bottom of the pan so it doesn't scald. This doesn't exactly do a thorough job with that. Interesting thing I just discovered myself as well. I just got my goatee girls milking again for fall time. We have 2 kidding seasons every year, and the spring kidding season is really when we have the most milk. The fall kidding season is when I have enough milk to get by and do the things that I want to do. It's not enough to preserve with, like I can't really make butter or I can't really make a lot of like larger hard cheeses. But while we were waiting for the babies of fall time to be of weaning age, we were getting cow's milk from one of my friends who just got a Jersey cow. Now, I've been cooking with goat's milk for such a long time. I mean, I thought cow's milk was probably just a 1-for-1 for goat's milk. And you know what? I guess it is, but it acts very, very differently. I burned that cow's milk way more frequently than I burn our goat's milk. Actually, I think maybe one time I have accidentally scalded the goat's milk. The cow's milk was a lot more sensitive, and I think it's because the cow's milk has more milk sugars in it potentially, so it caramelized faster. I don't really know, but all I do know is I don't prefer it. I guess that's probably a good thing since I have a whole bunch of goats. All right, it is starting to thicken up. I don't even know how long it's been. But as I stir, I'm starting to see not curd necessarily, but it's thickening. I'm not sure if you can tell, but our milk is steaming. And I can feel a little bit of resistance as I'm stirring. See that? Starting to thicken up. And again, we don't want it to burn. The goat's milk is decent about not burning, but we did add sugar. So that's going to make it a little bit more sensitive, plus the egg. All right, it's been a little bit longer, and you can probably see it looks kind of chunky as I'm stirring. It's actually thickening up quite quickly at this point. It's almost time to pull it off. It actually happened quite fast. As soon as I started to see the curds or little lumps starting to form, everything came together. What I'll do at this point, now that I have it off of the heat, I will switch back to my whisk to help smooth things out a little bit. Here we have it. Remington. Just thinking about it. Alright, so at this point the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to put 2. It's going to add to the silkiness and richness of everything. And then some vanilla extract. You could leave either one or both of these out, especially if you wanted a different flavor other than vanilla. Beautiful. Silky smooth texture. Remy. And now the only thing left to do is to chill it. I like making puddings this time of year because I can use the outside, like the literal outdoors, as a refrigerator. You don't want it? You want to try it again? All that's left to do is to cover this, stick it outside on the porch, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. So I'm going to be a little bit quiet. Most of my children are still asleep, but this is what it looks like next day. There's a little bit of a skin over it. Very typical puddings put in the fridge. But here I have 2 bananas. They've definitely gone by. We're just going to mulch these up and put them in. Apologies. Describing it as mulching them up wasn't very appetizing, but it's early. As I mentioned before, I know that this is not, traditional banana pudding, but the kids really like banana muffins and banana bread, and usually I need about 3 or 4 bananas to accomplish that, and I only had these 2. So it was their idea to go ahead and make banana pudding with it. So this will work. It'll be good. You could flavor this however you like. You could leave it vanilla, but it's a nice base recipe for sure. Okay, all mulched up. Usually we like to scoop up the pudding with a cracker or a cookie like this. I'm running low on the vanilla wafers, but those are classic with banana pudding. But maybe you'll also like scooping it up with graham cracker. Right. Good and thick.
I love the taste of breakfast. I'm just gonna eat it. It's really good.
Do you taste the banana in it? Is it nice and smooth?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody.
Thank you. He's weirded out. He's like, of course it's good, Mom. He already knows. That is the first time I've used that recipe though, where everything is just in one pot. You don't have to worry about tempering eggs. That was really nice. I'll make sure that I link the recipe down below. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen. I'll see you guys again soon.